All right, you guys. We are live. Who's putting out on our bet? I shouldn't say that. Y'all see who's behind me? Look at here. It's full of time. Got a different song for you, babe. I don't know if this mean a lot, but it's about the spinners. I know our guests and you are going to be sitting out chilling today. So we're about a few minutes early, right? I'm going to hand this right to you. And then I'm going to take this and pull that
All
out
right.
there. And get that out of the way so you can see the comments as they come in. And how about this? Why don't I pop in our guests already so y'all can kind of chat it up.
Okay.
People see that y'all just chilling early. Okay? Let me go and do this. He in the background chilling. Look at him. There we go. Look at him. Chilling.
What's up, man?
Well, good.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yes. Check out some stuff while we get that out the way.
Still playing with it.
Uh-huh. We got the comments. All right.
Man, this fresh air is good, bro.
It's nice. Where you at, baby?
Man, it's down here in the country. Man, I'm talking
Okay.
about, I've seen more trees today than I've seen in the last 10 years put together. Man,
Ain't nothing wrong with that, boy.
we're so far in the country, the Tarzan came out and pumped the sunshine in.
What?
Oh,
You
I
don't be
love
laughing
it.
at all of that stuff.
I love it.
I'm serious, man. And then, what's the little boy name that was on Tarzan?
Huh?
There's a little boy on Tarzan, and he was delivering the mail. He was swinging. They were swinging on the vine, delivering the mail, dropping it by folks' house.
Y'all down there for real.
Oh my
You
God!
remember this song?
Now, we don't own the rights to this music.
TC, you
All
remember this? Be thankful for what you
Oh,
got.
yeah.
But remember,
Brothers and sisters. William Devon. So what you and TC doing? I'm gonna get out the way.
we just chilling. We just chilling. I was just giving the folks a couple of minutes to come on. I see Gwen is on. Pastor Jay is on. What's up, Jay? What's up, Gwen and Jay? What's up on this beautiful Monday afternoon? Man,
Yeah,
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful afternoon. Look, man, I'm telling you, I drove Darlene chauffeuring today. It is about 3.5 hours from Atlanta. So we drive down here, half a tank of gas, so I wasn't worried about it. So I said, okay, I'll wait and get some gas when we get down there. We wanted to pull over and stuff. So I'm just chilling, and driving, talking, listening to watercolors and the jazz. So take Darlene to the school and ask the administrator, where's the gas station. Said, yo, you can't miss it. Go down. They act like you from there. Go down by the big tree, by Miss Maddie's house. Trying to make a left when you get down to Miss Maddie's, and then you go across
Right.
there, and you'll see a big tree, and turn by the big tree. Yeah, so I did that. I followed the instructions. So I go by this one service station and got the black bags for the pumps. This is a brother station, and the brothers hanging out and having a good time. So they told me, no, go down to that other service station. It's right there, man. It's right there before you get to the big church, right there by the big church. So I follow instruction well because I grew up like that. Grew up following directions. So I go down to this station, and they got the 2 pumps on the outside, and they're so close to the front door that you make 3 steps, you in the store. But no, that's not the country part. How about maybe a 40-something, 50-year-old woman and a 60-year-old, 65-year-old man, white, outside pumping gas? They didn't have the pumps, didn't have no place for me to use a card. They wind it like this,
Wow.
and then they
Wow.
pump the gas, and I'm like speechless. I mean, I'm like, man, I hadn't seen this in 50 years. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They will pump their gas for you.
Y'all should
And
have
if you,
took pictures of that. Somebody should have videoed that.
man, I didn't think about that.
Oh,
That should have been. And then
that's
if you
wow.
want to use the card, you have to go inside.
Wow.
Man, I'm like, oh my God. And just the things we take for granted and
Yep.
life blessings and the state that we're in. I told Q, I said, if I lived in this place here, I would either be an alcoholic or drunk, or both of them, and on drugs too.
Everything.
I've been drinking rubbing alcohol. You know what I'm talking
Everything.
about? I'm talking about rubbing alcohol, and then tequila. So
Y'all was
man,
back in time, boy.
I just, man, it was just amazing. But really, it just really made me think how grateful I am and how grateful we should be every day.
Yeah.
Because man, it was absolutely. They built a new school here, and it's good for everybody on to hear. We're gonna get on our subject in a minute, but it's good for them to think about being grateful. They built a new school here, the high school, the middle school, and the elementary school
All in one.
in the same building.
You down there, bro.
Man, I'm saying, oh my God. And
Wow.
we talked to the football coach. And this is for everybody being grateful. We talked to the football coach. So I asked him, I said, well, where you go to college at? You know, we near Albany. You know, Columbus got a school, college down here. We in Columbus now. We made it back to Columbus. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Anyway, he said, oh, I didn't go. I coach all sports. I said, where you go to college? Oh, I didn't go to college. I'm like,
Just walked
okay.
in.
And then the guy that was in charge in the weight room, we asked him what class he was in. He said, I was asking what classification they compete in.
Yeah.
He told me what year he graduated. He graduated from high school about last year. And he wanted the coaches.
Y'all get out from my school, please. Go
Man, I'm talking about. Yeah.
Y'all out there, boy.
Man, I'm talking about it was. But man, I tell you what, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that you on tonight.
Yeah, man.
And to carry this broadcast. And I'm gonna let you have at it. But man, you know, welcome to GodFidence. Man, I don't know what episode. I don't know what season. I don't know what it look.
He said 14.
I'll let you do all that tech work next week. So you just clean it up next week. I'm just here.
Look, you guys, I gotta squeeze in. We at a welcome center. Pulled off to the side of the road.
Right.
We do GodFidence with Terrence.
Right.
You gotta love it, man. Your dedication to this is it just went up another notch for me. When I heard about how we were gonna do this tonight, I'm like, this dude is serious about this thing. So
yes, sir.
My hat goes off, and I'm sure your audience appreciates being able to just rock with you. You know, the other thing about GodFidence that I love is it's always just real. It's real. It's in the kitchen. It's going down right here, right now. We on the side of the road. We walking around with the phone. It's just we just doing real life, right? So
it's
that's
real
what
life. It's life, man.
It's
Thank
real
you.
life.
Thank you.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, tonight we were discussing just, you know, some good topics to try and share. And, you know, since we kind of been on this whole journey of you know, spouses and marriage and even death, we decided to kind of continue. You know, last week was a great discussion around utilizing professional counseling for keeping our marriages and our lives in general on track. Using counseling not only in bad times, but when times are okay and you're just trying to improve your game, right? So you should always be wanting to get better. And tonight the goal was to take that and add to it as we talk about marriage specifically, and the fact that you and I have something very unique in common, and that is we have been blessed to have a long-term marriage. I mean,
Longevity, longevity.
40, 40 years for me. How long for
Yeah,
you would you and Gene?
50 for me.
Okay, so not too many people can say that.
Right,
Most of the audience don't know too many people who've done that. And so that makes us a little unique in this area. And I just wanted to tap into it, learn from you, and maybe you can get some nuggets from me and we can share with the audience and vice versa. We don't know everything. We don't even profess to.
right.
But we're here to share with you the things that we encountered during that journey. Again, for those who don't know, I lost the love of my life in December of 22 of this past year. That's 2 years almost coming up.
Right.
And I just think that for me, this continues to be a very cathartic and therapeutic way for me to share this amazing time with this woman and hopefully empower other people to be able to take a journey of that length.
Yes.
And tonight we hope to drop a few nuggets and of course pick up a few if somebody else want to lay a few down. So that's where we at. I will kick things off by saying,
Yeah.
Ken, for me, it's about 10 things that as I look back over my life that made the difference in terms of longevity. Let me say this before we get started. One of the things that I tell people all the time about longevity is, it's kind of like the grass is greener on the other side thing. Don't think because somebody tell you they got 50, 60 years of marriage that they figured it out. That, oh my God, they must have been so
Yeah.
compatible. It must have just been wonderful if they did 60 years. No, they just did 60 years. And
Right.
everything that you can imagine happened in those 60 years. It was good, bad, and different, all of the above, right? There
The
is no
good, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
all wrapped in one, and that is a part of the journey. So
Yeah.
don't get it twisted. That kind of time is not for the faint at heart. Everybody can't do it, as we've seen time and time again. People be divorced in less than 5 years. They already out.
Yeah.
So you gotta first of all want that type of time. You gotta make it a priority that you're in it for the long haul. And I don't think some people do that. I think some people get into the infatuation of, oh, I love you, you love me. Love ain't never paid a bill. Love ain't never solved all problems. Love ain't never fixed communication that just ain't right. There's a lot of things, that we hate to say love really just don't fix by itself. It's
Right.
icing on the cake, but by itself, it don't fix it.
Right.
So,
I heard a guy say one time about that. He said, Bishop, I burnt all my bridges, so I don't have nowhere else to go. So
mm,
he invested to make it work because he burned all his bridges and had
yeah,
nowhere else to go. And that's what you
yeah,
have to do. You have to have a commitment to be married. You have to have a commitment to be married. You
yeah.
cannot have a B plan. Because
No,
the B plan is very convenient for you to go into another plan and
yeah.
not endure endure hardship, endure the
Mm-hmm,
good times and the bad
mm-hmm,
times. But
yep,
staying in marriage a long time, it's about communications.
yep.
What you're trying to say, darling, 51 years of horse wheel like a pair of doves.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Go ahead, CC.
So let me give you just a few of my nuggets. I thought about some things that I think made a difference for us specifically. Well, we talked about one of them last week, and that's the counseling thing.
Right.
I am just such a believer in the fact that, as we are two imperfect people trying to be in this perfect union called marriage, that you just need a little help doing that. There's
Right.
no blueprint. Most of us come to that with the baggage of our parents at best. If you came up in a two-parent household, you at least saw something and you come to the party with that. Doesn't necessarily mean it was right, but that's your reference point, right? Because that's the first thing counselors do. The first thing they do in marriage counseling is say, who were your parents? Who were
Right.
your parents? Once y'all start breaking that down, we can get about 50% of why you're doing what you're doing right on out the way. And so it's so important that we understand that we show up with this baggage, this being a product of our environment, and that may not always work for the person that you've fallen in love with. So counseling is huge. Professional counseling for marriage and for people for counselors who know how to help you navigate will be a plus for you if you plan to get some longevity.
Yeah.
Comment on that, Ken?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
But I totally believe in it. A lot
Yeah.
of Christians, especially pastors, that don't believe in secular counseling, and I think you can get better counseling a lot of times from secular than they can Christian counselor. So
Agreed.
make sure he's a professional, because
Yep.
I recommend. And some pastors don't have the finances, or some people don't have the finances to go to a professional counselor. And I always recommend going to the largest white church. Normally, if the Baptists, they're well educated, they're well trained, and they normally have professional counselors on staff. And that's what I recommend. Or go to there, and they can recommend to you somebody that would be really wise and can give you the wise counsel that you need.
Yep. And again, last week, that was a big part of the discussion, was finding people who specialize or have a profession in this kind of work. Not to take
Right.
anything away from a pastor or anyone who is there for you from a spiritual perspective. But again, I wouldn't go to the dentist to fix my car. I would go to an auto mechanic, right? That's what he
Right.
specializes in. So nothing wrong with counting and trusting people who specialize in an area. And like I said, also bonus on the cake is if they are a Christian. That's icing on the cake.
That's right.
But the core competency is what you're looking for.
Right.
The other thing I always like to tell people, I was asked this so many times when people hear about the amount of time we spent together. It was like, what's the key? If you had to tell me one thing in terms of, the longevity side of marriage, what would you say it was? I've said this, everybody who knows me forever, is not about the things that you have in common. It's about the things that you don't have in common.
That's right.
Okay. See, we get married based on the things that we have in common. We
Right.
like the movies. We like taking long walks on the beach. I like jazz. She like jazz. All of those things is what brings us together in the first place. But believe it or not, those things alone won't keep you,
That's right.
because there's going to be things that you don't have in common. That's the stuff that you
Right.
got to work on. That's the stuff that you got to, give some empathy on. That's the stuff that you got to mess up and say, I'm sorry. And all of the work is in the things that we don't have in common and how we get beyond them, how we either agree to disagree, how we learn to appreciate the differences. But all of those things, I say, are the number one way that you get longevity. The stuff you
Right.
have in common takes care of itself. It's the
That's
other
right.
things that require work. Yeah.
There are things that Darlene like that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that I like that she don't like. There's things that she does that she doesn't like, but she does it because she loves me. She cares, and we
Mm-hmm.
communicate about it. And that's
Yeah.
what we do on both ends. And
Yeah.
and sometimes she want to go places I don't want to go. Like, she love music, and it depends on the kind of music. But once I gone 4 or 5 times, I'm not gonna go the 5th time. And she just have to
Yeah.
understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
she might be, oh, Fuller, you mean to tell me you gonna let me go by myself? Fuller, and I just look at her because she know that look. She know that look. And like you said,
Yeah.
you learn to love each other for what each other, the value that's in each other. And I will add to that, communication is the key. Yeah, I
Always.
communicate to Darlene what I love, what I don't like. Now, I don't like that, and she'll know we tell each other we owe each other to be honest with each other. Like,
Yeah.
something she gonna wear or something. I can say, before now I was married. You get in an argument about, I paid for this. I like this, and you said, "Well, you asked me for my opinion, and I just gave you my opinion." And then you got a disagreement there. So I've been
Yeah.
on both. I've been on both spectrum. I learned a lot in 50 years. It was on the job training up until all 50 years.
Yep. Yep. That's so true. I'll share a story. My mom was married twice.
Okay.
And I always like to say my first dad was a Rolling Stone. My second dad was a pastor. Okay.
Okay.
So she literally went from Rolling Stone to a pastor on the second one. So very different flow in the house.
No
And
wonder
that's
you
why
so
I'm
messed
so
up. No wonder you
that's
so
why
messed up, man.
that's why I'm like, but check it out. I asked her about the differences, and of course, I was there with the first one. She was able to bury the cuss book with the second one,
Right.
but she made up words with the first one. Um,
Right.
and ultimately, I said, how did you make the second marriage work so well? She said, first and foremost, you take all of your learnings from the first one and you bring that to the marriage as adults. So sometimes getting married later in life has advantages. She said, we sat down, and the key to our entire existence, and they were married 26 years, was the do's and the don'ts. In
Hmm.
other words, these are the things that I like, these are the things that I don't like. Do the do's, don't do the don'ts.
Right.
And that was it. They literally discussed what each other liked and didn't like, back to what you said,
Right.
communication,
Yeah.
and just made up in their minds, these are her triggers, these are his
Right.
triggers, these are the things that he likes, these are the things that she likes, and you do the do's and don't do the don'ts. She
Right. That's
told me
good.
that, and it blew my mind. I was just
That's
like, that's
good.
that. She said, everything else, you're making it too difficult.
Right.
Do the do's, don't do the don'ts.
That's so good.
Come on. So I took that gem.
Yes.
Here's the
Yes.
other one. Here's the other one in the same context. When we talk about, it never fails. If I come out here on my deck, somebody want to do something in their yard. About to throw a rock over there.
But it's just the devil, man. Don't want this communications to get
I
out.
can talk
Darlene and I,
about it.
look, we used to do Facebook. We used to do Zoom meetings, and
Yeah.
nothing happens. But man, I think about 10 times we were trying to do this, and the internet mess up. It'll go dead, or it'll freeze, and one person be talking, and we had all kind of trouble. So
Push
don't
through.
trip. Right.
Push through.
Yeah.
Here's my other big one is fix yourself.
Yeah.
Fix yourself. How many times have we tried to fix our partners? If they was
Amen.
only more like me, if they would only do it this way, if we would, the only issue is they won't do what I want them to do. This is the number one reason people go into counseling. You dragging the other
Right.
the other person in there. And a good counselor would tell you, if you are here for anything other than you're here for the wrong reasons. You can't fix him. He can't fix you. The real question is, what are you going to do about yourself to become a different person for this individual? And then they reciprocate. If I show up new, you treat me differently. So it is always about fixing yourself in a marriage.
That's good.
That's all you own. That's all you own.
That's good. But that gets back to the value we put on ourselves, and not think. There's a song that says, "How great I am, how great I am." We think we're so great that everything we do, me. It's all about me.
Yeah.
How great I am.
That is so true.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
that's human nature, and we're quick to do it. Some of us are actually attracted to people that we want to fix. I can help them.
Right.
I can make them better.
Right.
Ultimately, if I just work with them long enough, and that ain't necessarily the case. And so always show up at the actual relationship with the intentions of, I'm here to be the best version of me that I can be for you. And if we both agree to that, then we'll do the work. We'll do the work.
Yeah. And the Bible says, how can you correct someone with a log in your eye and they got a little pick in their eye? So how can you correct that? So most of us have logs in our eyes, and we trying to correct the person with the toothpick in theirs.
Right. Total miss every time.
Yes, sir.
Here's another big one. Agree to disagree. We've heard this a gazillion times. It's back to communication. There is no way you're going to meet anybody on the planet, I don't care how many things you have in common, and not end up having a disagreement.
Yeah.
It's okay to let them have it and say, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree. That's not a bad thing.
Right.
That's a human thing. And then it's okay for you to allow them to disagree. So it is
Right.
still the right form of communication to agree to disagree. I think so much of our own, I can speak for myself, um, arguments and debates were the fact that you felt like you were unable to get them to see your version of it,
Right.
to see it your way. And it's really not about that. There are just some things that you disagree on, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Agree
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
disagree. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Um, this is a big one. Learn to apologize quickly.
Yep.
We have a tendency, and some do this worse than others. I'm not going to get into the how many women versus men apologize, yada
Right.
yada yada. Um,
The
if
bottom
you
line.
don't, if you don't figure it out, this is a mess waiting to happen every time.
Yes, sir.
Learn to apologize. There is no way on earth either of you can be right all the time. I
Right.
don't care how smart you are. Can't happen.
No.
Learn to
No.
apologize.
Right. You have to. You have to. And one thing I can say, Darlene and I both, we talk to each other and we say that we apologize quick. I mean, if anything happened, we're
Yeah,
quick to apologize. She's really quick to apologize.
yeah,
And she's
yeah.
the full of you just so easy. You just, when you've been married a long time, it's not worth it. This
It's
this is
not.
just a passing moment in this whole year. Not talking about the 50, not talking about the 40, but this is just a passing moment
That's
in one
right.
year.
That's
So
right.
why are you gonna be huffing and puffing? I ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. So we may as
Yeah,
well settle because we committed to each other and we
yeah,
committed to our relationship. And
yeah,
you know, she has to learn to live with me. I
yeah,
have to learn to live with her. Cause
yeah,
the kids back gone now, so it ain't gonna be no one but each other. And a lot
yeah.
of times, TC, even in pastoral marriage, because that was a while back, there's a lot of pastors getting divorced. And one of the reasons they was getting divorced is because they didn't invest in each other. They didn't
Mm,
talk to each other. They didn't
yeah,
discuss each other. They was putting all this one bucket sitting here is the kids bucket, and they were
yeah.
putting it to the kids bucket, but they never took time for themselves. And
Mm,
because they didn't take time for themselves, they'll look at each other and say, I don't even like you. As a matter
mm-hmm.
of fact, it's about what's your name is, what your name
That's
is.
right.
Because we don't know each other. Didn't take
Yeah,
time to find out. Now they know what size shoe the kids wear, what
yeah,
size shirts. They know what their favorite color is. They
yeah.
know what they had on last. And you ask a husband or wife, and they could care less. And see,
I'm
so
gonna skip
it's
to two.
vital.
I'm gonna skip to two areas because you've already keyed on one. One of them
Okay.
is marriage is about you two against the world.
Yep.
That
That's
means the
good.
kids come behind y'all.
That's
You
right.
understand?
Right.
Kid, everything, mama
Yep.
them, daddy them, pookie
That's
them,
right.
it's
Yeah,
you
everybody.
two against the world. And if you can't get that foundation, anything can come take y'all out. You two against
Anything.
the world. Yeah. The other one was understanding that sowing into your family is not necessarily sowing into your marriage. I had to learn that
Oh, that's
my
good.
wife
Oh, that's good.
specifically round me up one year and was like, honey, what have we done to enrich our relationship? Some
Yeah,
questions she asked.
yeah.
I named all the trips that we had taken with the family. We did this and we did that and we did this, and the other day the girls was over and this and that and the other, and she said, that is the family. That is not our
That's right.
marriage.
That's right.
It was an epiphany moment. Ken, I had checked off that I was doing great.
Right.
I was
She got an A plus. You got an A plus.
I'm good. I'm like failed miserably, but I
Yep.
never forgot it, and I recategorized things based on that. I said that's family. This is marriage. Date night is marriage.
Right.
Marriage counseling is marriage. Marriage retreats is marriage. 3 day spontaneous getaways, that's marriage.
Right.
You know, that stuff,
Come on.
because
Come on.
everything else don't
Right.
really count, because
Right.
it's, again, is y'all against the world. So understanding that there is a difference was a huge moment for me, and I thank her to this day for the fact that she brought that to my attention. Back to your last one, another saying in terms of apologizing quickly in business, we calling it fail fast.
Right.
If you go after some new product or some new strategy, you assess that thing in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. If it ain't working, we fail fast. We
Right.
pull back, we retool. So same in marriage. If you missing the mark, don't sit there and stir over it and come back and try and get them to see your position. Just apologize. Apologize.
Right.
Fail fast. Don't turn a moment into a day. Don't
Right.
turn
Right.
the molehill into the mountain. Same concept. So very, very good things to also remember. I heard Pastor Dallas say this many, many years ago, and I never forgot it. In marriage, she is your business.
Right.
I am her business. Mind your business.
Mind your own black business.
Mind your business. She is my business. I am her business. Mind your business. Hey, that means study her. That means fix it. That means find out what you're doing wrong. That means figure out if you think you know they love language, maybe it's done changed. That's a good one, y'all. Love languages do change over time, especially when you're talking about longevity. Your primaries can switch. So when you start talking about 20, 30, 40 years with somebody, who they were at 20 is not who they are at 50.
That's
And
right.
languages can change. So be clear about that. Refresh that. Go back and read that book. Reassess that. Make sure you're clear about what they need, because how you feel their love tank at 20 is not
Right.
necessarily how you're going to feel it at 50.
That's right. It's not gonna work. It's not
Not
gonna
gonna
work.
work.
Because
Different
there's a
people.
maturity level that elementary stuff ain't gonna get it. It just
That's
won't get
right.
it. But
That's right.
we was taught in church the wrong way. And I'm a
Yeah.
pastor, and so I'm gonna tell the truth. Because of lack of understanding, we said God first,
Mm-hmm.
but there was God and the church were the same thing.
Right.
And so
Right.
God first and then
Right.
church. And
Right.
then other people, especially
Mm-hmm.
with the pastor and me being a young pastor, and then the people problem and their challenge and their children, then it's my family.
Mm.
Then it's my family, but it still ain't got to my wife yet.
Mm.
So she's on a low totem pole. I
Right.
learned through trial and error and counseling people. I be sitting there counseling people about marriage, and they be telling me what was wrong with them, and I'm saying, that's me. I said, hey.
Talking
And
to yourself.
I noticed that guys will open the door for the ladies at the church, or the men at the church open the door. They courteous, they hugged and did everything. And I never see them do with their wives. So I had a men meeting and had meeting at church and talked about that, how to put things in proper order. It's
Yeah.
God first, your wife, your
Yep.
children,
Yep.
your parents, and all. Just
Yep.
put things in proper order. And that's what
Yep.
we didn't do in a lot of marriage at first, because we didn't know any better.
We
We
know.
weren't trained. Because
Yep.
even like my dad and them and that generation before them was saying, I show you I love you. I go to work every day and I bring the check home and I bring the money
Yep.
home. But there was
Yep.
no emotional attachment. There was no love shown.
Yeah.
We grew up a loving, hugging, kissing. And you ever seen any of us together? I don't care where we see each other. 10 minutes later, if we kiss and we saw them again, 10 minutes later somewhere else, we kiss and hug it. Because I come from a very loving family. So
Yeah.
it was easy for me to come back over and love my wife the way that she deserved to be loved and be
Yeah.
treated. And so
Yeah.
the old Kenneth Fuller you wouldn't have liked. But
Yeah.
this Kenneth Fuller, after being married all these years, and Q always said, I thank Gene
Thank you.
for making Kenneth Fuller,
Yeah.
from bringing him from a grown boy to making him a grown man.
You done said a mouthful. You done said a mouth. I told my daughters as I tiptoe out here into this dating thing, One
Right.
of my reasons for being so picky
Right.
is the fact that someone is going to be blessed by Constance Caston.
Right.
Everything about me that I'm telling you, this
Right.
woman taught me.
Right.
Somebody's going to get all the benefits of that.
Right.
And therefore, I am very picky about
Right.
who
Should
I
be.
give that to. That's
Right.
real talk. Real
That's
talk.
real talk.
Yeah.
Man, for
Real
the bless.
Real talk.
Man, our time is about up. TC, look.
Yeah.
Now I hate to infringe on you again. But
Bro,
man,
you
I
know
like
I'm having the ball of my life. I'm having the time of my life.
look, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna be
Yeah.
stationary, and man,
Yeah.
we're gonna write some separate things down so we
Okay.
can just make this from just off the top of our head, and we're gonna
Yeah.
let the questions still be organic, still be
Okay.
organic, still natural. Cause there's some secrets doing marriage, and we ain't gonna spill all the tea because everybody don't need to know everything. But there's some secrets, and there's some thing in marriage that we done held back on
Yeah, man.
that I think we need to bless the folks with that because they enhance and increase their marriage. Because see, this confidence, this thing here is ministry, TC. When it
Yes, sir.
stops being ministry, I want
Yeah.
no part of it. I got
I
something
love
better to do. I ain't got to be sitting out here on side the road because
Yeah.
I'm trying to be popular.
Yeah.
On
You
side the
trying to
road.
drop real
But, look,
gems.
the
Yeah.
peanut gallery, you ain't on side the road. I'm at a welcome center. What is that I see on side the road? So the peanut gallery over here talking, but man, I'm saying,
I love it.
because I just want to help people in their relationship, and
I'm with
you being
I went.
the state that you are in, and me being
Yeah.
in the state, and Darlene being in the state that she was in, and Kurt Arnold, and that'll be a good person to have on at the same time, yeah, and
Yeah.
and to go through this, they think they know, they think they can imagine, they think they know how it feels, but
Yeah.
no one knows, man,
Yeah.
like someone who been through it, man. When
Yes,
your
sir.
guts are literally pulled away from you, that the reason you live, the
Yep.
purpose in your life is, and don't get spiritual. I mean, I ain't talking about God and all that. Now
Mm-hmm.
we know He first,
We
but I'm
know.
talking about the bone of your bone and the flesh just fall off you. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this again. I was thinking about this today. I think I was riding and I told Darlene this. I know our time's up, but I got to say this. When Jean passed, I thought about, and I went outside and even looked at my pool. And I started to dive in my pool and not come up.
Mm.
I started to just end it all. And I
Mm.
was hurting bad. I was hurting
Mm.
that bad. And I ain't
Mm.
never been a suicidal thought guy.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I always
Yep.
love myself, so I can't do that. I love myself too much. I love
Yep.
myself and get fuller. I ain't about to do that. And but I told
Yeah.
Darlene it was like I had an infection.
Yeah.
And she came along and she was my antibiotic.
I love it.
And man, and she
I
started
love
cleaning
it.
it up, and she started
I
healing
love
my
it.
body. And I might have been insensitive to my family about bringing her around so fast and all of that. But man,
Yeah.
that was my antibiotic. That was my
Yeah.
healing.
I
That
love
brought
that,
me
Ken.
healing. And I still miss Jean. I was grieving
Yeah.
this weekend
Yeah.
because I was packing up my stuff. We getting ready to move, and I was
Got
packing up my stuff at my old house. And I'm seeing all these cards that we had shared one another, and cards people had sent me back when she passed.
Yeah.
And then I see some pictures or something, and I start laughing all, and I'm like crying and laughing all at the same time. So
Yeah.
you never get over that. And
Yeah.
I could tell Q, but the good part about it, I could talk to Q about that and tell her about it.
I
And
love it.
and I just want her to know that she's been the antibiotic to my infection. And baby,
I
she done
love
a good
that.
job because I'm healed right now.
I love
Look
it.
at her.
I love it. I love it. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So I know we're gonna wrap, and
Yeah.
we'll save some of these other nuggets for another time.
Yes, sir.
This has been, as usual, this is still very therapeutic for me
Yes,
to be
sir.
able to share this amazing life that I have with this woman, and equally helping me figure out what my next steps are. So I thank you guys for allowing me to come onto the platform, share
Yes,
some
sir.
nuggets, and get some nuggets, so that my second half is at least half as good as my first half.
Man, our audience really love you. We got a lot of feedback from having you on.
Oh,
But man, I'm telling you, Darlene told me once we was dating about it. I mean, I got married. We've been married about a year. She said, no, it was before we got married. She said, Fuller, I'm helping you heal you.
Mm.
She said, I was really healing myself. We healed each other. She said,
Yeah.
because I had to go into mama daddy mode with 2 young children.
Yeah.
I had to be, I had to be the provider and the protector. She had to be, all of that. So she really didn't have time to grieve. So she was still grieving and didn't know it. And so it's been a blessing, man. I just tell you, I pray that you find somebody that's half as good as Darling has been for me, personally, emotionally, everything, man. Spiritually, all of that, man.
Package deal. I love it. I love it.
Man, we're going to talk. Well, look, I'm looking for next week. I don't see anything on my calendar that's stopping him. And we're going to dig into some deep stuff this time.
Next week, just so y'all know, your boy is in Belize. Your boy is in Belize. So next Monday, I am in the country of Belize.
Okay. Wow. Go ahead, boy.
So now.
So
I don't know. I might bring Senorita back. I don't know.
I hear you. Close out for us.
So, I think TC next week. So what time zone is Belize on? You're gonna be able to get up
Central. Let me see. I get in Monday. So I go in, I leave here at 10. I'm on the ground by 12. I can be at poolside in the evening. I don't think I'm doing a whole lot. I got some stuff up my sleeve, but
Yeah. So next week we may go a little bit longer. I'm gonna let you guys do it like you did today. But
and then I'll pop in.
I think we go add in like a Kirk Arnold if he's available. Kirk Arnold lost his wife, passed away a few years ago. Young guy like us,
Okay.
And so got probably one other person since we can do 4 sets of people. But I think it'd be a good conversation. So people want to join, they want to stay and stay on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's cool. If they don't want to stay on, they can always come back.
It's our show. It's recorded. Yeah.
Send the link, and then let me see how things go when I'm on the ground. But I'd love to be able to just pop in and comment, let y'all see beautiful Belize. So it's all good.
Okay.
Look here, did you guys enjoy the session today? I'm telling you, put some hearts on the Facebook if you're on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, you can do some likes, however you want to do it. But thank you both for joining. And so, any last thoughts? Or this is it?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
You get back on the road.
I'll start all over again, and we'll be going on some more time.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna save my niggas. I got about 4 more good ones, but I'm gonna save them for the next go round. But again, I just thank you guys for the opportunity of being able to get on here and vent and do what I love doing, which is communicating. See, some people like talking. Communicating is I'm talking, you're understanding, and you're reciprocating. Some people just talk. I'm communicating.
Don't we love TC?
Just beating they go.
We just love TC.
Man, love you, man. Love you, man.
So look, we getting back on the road, you guys. Thank you for your prayers, because we know you guys are already praying for us to get back home. But thank you, TC, for doing what you do. We love you.
Yes, ma'am.
Love y'all more.
All right. You take care.
Have a good one.
You gonna dance it out? You gonna do dum bum 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 Enjoy your deck.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right, man. Love you.
See ya.
Love you, man.